I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong. I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up, because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
What do we do?
He's been here once tonight. I think he'll come back.
Everybody, and welcome to the Ancient Slumber Podcast, show number 17. My name is Chris Ward, and joining me for a chat about some movies is Myron Schmidt. How you doing, Myron?
You got 17 right. I'm impressed.
I know. I had to think about that as I was saying it.
You always ask me before the show what number it is, and you did this time.
It's not often I think about what I'm saying, but today I do.
Well, sort of.
Sort of.
You'll come up with some cockamamie way to prove that one wrong.
I'll upset somebody, no doubt.
Yep. Amityville 2 is all I'm saying.
Greatest possession film about a house ever made.
Oh, goodness.
Well,
how you been, Chris?
I've been all right. I've been busy as usual. But looking at the list of films that are coming out over the next few months from various distributors, it's quite exciting times.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them that are coming out that are I'm excited for.
Yeah, we've just had Fright Fest over here. I didn't go, but I've been looking at all the reviews and the films and everything that's been coming out from there, and it looks like it's going to be an interesting few months for releases. There's some good stuff.
Excellent. Yeah, I'll give you one guess as to the movie I'm waiting for.
Rob Zombie 31.
Oh, come on, no, better than that.
That's the one I'm waiting for.
Oh.
I've had the press release as well, so it's coming. Yours has got to be Blair Shit. Sorry.
Yes, that's all right. I can take it. I have broad shoulders.
Yes, some people on my Twitter feed have been giving their thoughts on it.
Yeah. I listened to a podcast yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's called, I think it's called In the Flesh. And these two guys, Joe and Brett, saw 31 at Fright Fest.
Yeah. I've heard mixed. I'm going to stick with my my colleague at Flickering Myth, Luke Owen, who gave it a 4-star review.
Wow.
Now, actually, Luke and I normally disagree about a lot of horror films, but I'm willing to go with him on this one. Very good review.
Well, look, let's face it. In all honesty, this one may be right up your alley. It's not a departure for Rob Zombie. It's his old redneck crowd doing bad things. You probably might get a...
Oh,
you might like it.
You know I'm going to love it, whatever. It could be Rob Zombie, a film of Rob Zombie sat on a toilet farting in Sid Haig's face, and I'd sit and watch it and love it.
That concerns me all of a sudden. I'm a little worried at this point.
I'm
a little worried at this point.
I would not be at all. Right then.
Yeah.
Today we are doing Halloween 1, 2, 3.
That's right.
And Dead End Driving as well.
Halloween being one of my favorite horror movies. This is a series that I'm a big apologist for.
Oh,
so
don't give it all away just yet.
No, everybody who knows me knows Halloween's my favorite.
Yes, but they know you like found footage as well.
They do. So, and I also dislike a lot of found footage. So
do you now?
Yes.
Not as many as I do.
No, not by a far cry. Not by a far cry.
No.
Are we going to get to talk about nuns? Do I get to laugh again about nuns?
You are.
I don't think we are.
No, I think you are, because we're about to do Good, Bad and Ugly.
Oh, God.
So let's dive straight in.
Nude nuns with big guns. Anyways. My good, believe it or not, is a non-horror related movie.
Mm-hmm.
I do watch other kinds of movies.
How dare you?
I know. Is we get this wonderful little thing where Voodoo gets like early releases of stuff, and they call it early release. But sometimes it's still in the theaters, or other times it's just like 2 weeks early you get the digital copy.
Oh, right, okay.
And I got to enjoy a little film called X-Men Apocalypse.
Oh, I saw that on your letterbox.
Yeah, I thought it was a good movie. There's plot holes and there's, 10 ways till Sunday to rip it apart, but at the end of the day, I just really enjoyed watching it. It was a fun movie.
I really like the X-Men films, actually.
Me too, and I like the later ones even better, where they have the James McAvoy character.
Yeah.
I really like those. I think those are just a little kind of darker, more action-filled kind of thing.
Yeah, I haven't seen Apocalypse. It's out on DVD here next month, I think. I've got it pre-ordered.
Okay.
So, I shall watch that when I get it and let you know what I think. But I sat and watched Days of Future Past the other night.
That's a good one, too.
Yeah, I quite like it. It's a bit...
Yeah.
It's a bit long-winded, but, I think the action's good. I still think Hugh Jackman's great as Wolverine. I can't think how the fuck they're going to top that once he gives it up.
Well, he's been doing it for so long. Hugh Jackman is Wolverine.
Yeah.
And I'm not the biggest Hugh Jackman fan, to be honest, but he is Wolverine.
Oh, yeah.
There's just no other way.
I've watched him in other films and he's been okay, but I think, as Wolverine, I think he's bang on.
Yeah. It's just like, to me, what's his name? Liv Schreiber?
Liev Schreiber, yeah.
Yeah, he'll always be, his character. I
can't remember. I can't remember the names. I haven't watched that one for ages. But that's the one. That's the Origins film, isn't it? That a lot of people slag off.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was. I know the CGI is a bit lousy in places, but
sometimes you just have to expect that going in.
Well, exactly.
And that's exactly what I expect. When I get a Batman vs. Superman or an X-Men Apocalypse, I expect it to be 99% CGI, 10%, 1%, whatever it is, real stuff. And I'm okay with that. I'm
all right with it in a superhero film because, that's what you're signing up for when you go to watch it, isn't it?
Exactly.
If I wanted gritty realism, I'll go and watch a drama.
That's right.
So, I don't mind a little bit of fantasy silliness.
So what about you? Where's your good fall?
Well, my good one is, between the last show and this show, we obviously we lost Gene Wilder.
We did. I forgot about that.
Yes. I mean, I grew up watching Gene Wilder films. One of our first videos that we ever had was Silver Streak, I remember, which I love. So I gave Stir Crazy a rewatch.
Oh, my God. How could you not?
I fucking love that film. I really do. I know it gets a bit of flack because about halfway through it stops being funny and becomes a bit more of a serious drama. But
it kind of does, yeah.
It does. But, I mean, Wilder and Pryor sell it so well, in that first half when they're in the jail cells and all that. It's just, and he sits there doing his Oshi, and all that sort of stuff. It's fucking hilarious. It still makes me laugh. I think he's a great character, and it's Skip Donaghy, one of the best characters in any film ever. Great supporting cast, Craig T. Nelson in there as the prison guard who doesn't like him. I think he's brilliant as well. And you've got all the characters like Grossberger and Blade and all those other prisoners. It's just a fun film. I love it.
Well, I saw that one and Blazing Saddles in the movie theater when they came out.
Oh, right, okay.
And my God, Blazing Saddles, I swear to God, I laughed through the whole thing. I mean, literally, the whole thing.
I've got to admit, I haven't seen Blazing Saddles for years. I saw it probably best part of 20, 25 years ago.
It is absolutely juvenile humor.
Oh, yeah, but
at its best.
But Gene Wilder was one of those guys, he could make anything funny just by a facial expression or a movement or even just accentuating a word in a sentence. He was just always good, and he will be missed.
He will, absolutely.
Go on then, give us a bad.
Yes, it's going to be a found footage movie.
Oh, of course it is.
It's a movie called The Cutting Room.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. College students are trying to do research on cyberbullying, and the cyberbullying episode is more than meets the eye, and I think it involves cannibals at some point. It just is. Yep, nope. It just doesn't cut the mustard.
No, okay.
Yeah, it's just, oh my god. At the end of the movie, you're just like, oh really, guys? We've really shoehorned a square peg in a round hole.
Well, I've done that once or twice.
It's not, it's a found footage, so you're already on a iffy slope.
Well, if you don't like it on that premise, then you're not going to like the rest of the film.
Yes,
so
exactly.
I'll give it a miss, shall I?
Yeah, I would highly suggest give it a miss.
Yeah, I have heard of that one. Is it on Netflix? I don't know. I have heard of it,
though. Yes. It was either Netflix or Amazon Prime.
Okay. Well, nice to see you're getting your subscription's worth.
Oh, God, yes.
Right then, My Bad is a remake. I'd seen it once before, and I couldn't remember it much, so I sat and watched it again the other night. It was Poltergeist. 2015. Why? Why do they do it? It's nothing.
What didn't you like about it?
Well, an easier question would be, what did I like about it? Nothing.
Do you think it was actually film problems, story problems, or nostalgia problems?
None of it, because I'm not that nostalgic about Poltergeist, the original.
Okay.
I like it. I actually prefer Poltergeist 2. Yeah, I'm not one of these people who says, oh, you can't redo that film. Yeah, it was good. It was a great time, but I think I don't think the original has dated that much, so I don't see what remaking it does. There's nothing in this remake. I don't like the actors. I think Sam Rockwell is terrible in this. I just didn't like his... When you compare him to Craig T. Nelson in the original, that's twice we've mentioned Craig T. Nelson today. But yeah, when you compare them, you like Craig T. Nelson's character. You want him to be your dad sort of thing. He's a great heroic sort of character. In the remake, I just didn't like Sam Rockwell at all.
Gotcha.
The kids, I wanted them to get fucking mangled, to be honest. Especially that boy. How fucking annoying was he? Jared Harris as the ghost hunting guy. I don't mind Jared Harris. I just think he's in some shit films. And I think there's a really good horror film role out there waiting for him, and he just hasn't found it yet. Because he was in the that Hammer one. Is it the marked one? Not the marked ones. What's it called? I'm going to have to look that up now.
I got no idea what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. Well, there's a review of... I wrote a review of it on our blog. What's it called?
What?
Digital. Oh, you must have seen it. It's a Hammer film. It's a recent Hammer film. It's a ghost one. Oh, what's it called? Bloody hell, that's what my computer's now decided to go fucking slow. Because I want to look something. Oh, yeah, The Quiet Ones.
All right, everybody, we're going to stop until Chris can sort this out.
I'm sorted, yeah. The Quiet Ones from 2014. Have you not seen that?
I heard good things about that one. I have not seen it yet.
Oh, no, it's shite. But it's better.
Really? Okay.
It's better than the Poltergeist remake. But yeah, in The Quiet Ones, Jared Harris is a sort of university lecturer. He's sort of the main character in it, but it just wasn't very well written.
Huh, okay.
In Poltergeist, again, I just think, yes, he's an actor I would choose for a role like that, but not in this film. There's nothing about the Poltergeist remake. None of it's done better than the original. And even if if the original didn't exist, this would still be a shit film. I just don't, there's nothing, there's no substance, there's nothing, I didn't believe any of it, I didn't get invested in any of it. The only bit I did like is when the girl is at the TV and she puts her hands up and you see all the hands behind the screen. That's the only image in it I thought that had any effect whatsoever.
Huh, alright.
Just boring shit, don't like it.
So while we're talking about bad movies.
Yeah.
The movie The Ouija, I think it was just called Ouija, came out, it was horrible.
Yes, absolute crap.
There is a found footage movie called The Ouija Experiment, I think.
Yes.
That is not bad, okay? I liked it.
Is it a sequel?
No.
Okay.
It's not. It's completely different. But Mike Flanagan is doing the new Ouija movie. Have you seen the trailer?
I haven't, no, but that's the one I'm thinking of. I've seen the advert on IMDb, yeah. I haven't looked at it.
Take a look at the trailer. I'd be curious to know what you think.
Okay.
I'm actually kind of excited for it. I mean, I like Mike Flanagan. I'm not the hugest Oculus fan. I don't know why that movie just never clicked with me.
Oh, I never saw it.
But I do like other stuff he's done, so.
Okay. Fair enough.
So watch the trailer. I'd be interested in your thoughts.
Okay, I shall do that once we finish recording, and I'll let you know.
So, if we move on to Ugly,
Go on then.
You're not going to believe it. It is another found footage movie, Chris.
Ah, for crying out loud. Do you do anything else?
Well, not when given a choice. And believe it or not, though, there are some found footage movies that I have read the synopsis and said no.
Okay.
I'm not going to watch it. It sounds really stupid and, forget it.
Go on then.
So I don't watch every single found footage movie, but I do watch a lot of more than I should probably. But this one is called Nightmare Code.
Nightmare Code. I haven't heard of that one. Okay.
It is done through security cameras and computer cameras.
I'm already forming a picture in my mind.
Yeah. Let me see if this plot at all sounds familiar to you.
It already does, yes.
Computer code goes rogue and computer technology kills people.
Right.
And no. Computer technology doesn't necessarily. Computer technology convinces normal people to kill each other. And then, here's the kicker. The guy who wrote the code gets sucked into the code and becomes the code. Did any of this sound familiar?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Keanu Reeves wasn't in it.
Yeah.
So
I was actually thinking of the Lawnmower Man, but there you go.
Oh, God, that crappy movie. Do you know that Stephen King had to sue to get his name removed from it?
Yeah, I can understand that. I'm surprised Jeff Fahey and Piers Brosnan haven't done the same, to be honest.
I know, no kidding. Because, the Lawnmower Man has nothing to do, the story has nothing to do with the...
So I'm led to believe. I've never read it.
Well, picture this. A big naked guy works for Satan, comes to your yard, takes off all his clothes, and eats your grass to mow it.
That sounds like a regular day for me.
That's pretty much what the story revolves around.
Ah, lovely. Okay.
It's Stephen King. It's awesome. What do you expect?
Exactly. So Nightmare Code then.
Yeah, it was just ugly. I mean, it was so bad it was ugly, and it was ugly because it wasn't that well done, and they try to introduce other subplots in to keep you hooked into the characters. Yeah, no, you just don't care.
Because the gimmick of having security camera footage just wasn't enough.
The gimmick of the whole Matrix thingy just wasn't enough.
Oh, dear. Why do you watch these things?
I don't know. I'm a sadist, I guess.
Yeah, one word for it, yeah.
Yeah,
Right then, my ugly, you know what it is.
No, I don't.
It's those nude nuns with big guns.
Oh, God.
I rewatched it last night. It was sat on my shelf. I wanted some background noise while I was doing something else. So I went, oh, go on then.
Oh, Lord help me.
This is an ugly film.
Were there actually nude nuns with big guns?
Yes. Have you not? I thought you'd seen it.
No, I've never seen it.
Oh, no, man, you need to see it. Yeah, it is deplorable. It is a lot of people getting raped for no good reason. Then there's a character.
Oh, God.
There's a character called Kickstand.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And not because of the size of his motorbike.
Yeah, I
who just basically rapes women. Well, they just meet people and he just end up raping them. Yeah, it's deplorable, but it's technically quite a well put together film. The acting isn't that dismal. This could have been a proper grindhouse thing from the 70s if you didn't know any better. It's just missing Danny Trejo popping up in it somewhere, really.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, there are nuns, they are nude, they have big guns. There's lots of tits and other bodily parts all on show for you to for your delectation. Yeah, I enjoy it. I like these grindhouse films. So, yeah, it's rubbish, but I like it.
Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ.
You've just sat and watched a film that's made on security cameras.
Yeah.
Just take that sentence and think about it.
Oh.
If somebody brought a load of security cameras to your house and went, "Oi, have a look at this," and started showing you clips from them all, you'd think, what the fuck are they doing?
Of course I would.
And you've just watched a film about that.
Actually, I watched two of them.
Of course you did.
I didn't even mention the 13 Cameras movie that I saw.
I don't know. Save that one. Save that one. For long in the future.
It's got more plot holes than Swiss cheese.
They had a plot, did they? Fucking hell.
Oh, God. Just the things they had to do at the end to make it all work was... I don't even know what to say. Oh, my God. Oh,
well. At least nude nuns with big guns has got a plot.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but there is one in there somewhere.
Yeah. You know what the funniest part about the cutting room, the really bad one that I talked about, of course, Nightmare Code is really bad, is that they suffer from what I call the crow's nest syndrome.
Okay.
Crow's Nest is, again, a found footage movie that has, believe it or not, a magic RV.
Of course it does.
The killers are in an RV and it just pops up out of nowhere.
Okay.
Okay. Forgive all that stuff. 2 of the characters got away. They were clean. They were gone. They were running. Everything was fine. They went back and got the fucking camera.
Of course they did, because if it's not on camera, it's not real. It didn't happen.
They went back and got the camera and got killed. Same with the cutting room. 2 or 3 characters in the clear. All they had to do was run. They were fine. Nobody's going to catch them. No, they went back.
But you have to have that thing, don't you?
Square peg in a round hole. You got to force it to... God almighty.
Oh, well, I forced it in more times than I care to mention. That's back to nude nuns with big guns.
Yeah. Yep. It's they force it worse than anybody trying to put together IKEA furniture.
Oh, yeah. I've got experience with that as well.
Yep.
Right then. That's enough of talking about rubbish films. Should we move on to some, well, hopefully better ones?
Well, yes.
Well, one of them we know is. One of them we know. Go on then. Let's go into Halloween, shall we? Let's play a trailer.
Halloween night. A small American town. 15 years ago. Michael? Halloween.
I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil. I think he'll come back.
Exploring uncharted territory.
Totally charted.
Just talk.
Sure.
The
only reason she babysits is to have
Halloween.
Okay.
Come on out.
Halloween. The night he came home.
Right. Halloween, 1978, directed by John Carpenter, starring Donald Pleasance, Jamie Lee Curtis, Tony Moran, Charles Cyphers, PJ Souls, Kyle Richards, Nancy Stevens, and some other people. Right. Synopsis. So after I got past PJ Souls, I was thinking, I don't recognise these names. Shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Go on then. Synopsis.
I love PJ Souls.
Here.
She does a great teenager.
Is that like PJ and Duncan?
I don't know who Duncan is.
That would mean nothing to you. Don't worry.
Yes, I don't know. Like a synopsis of Halloween?
That would help, yeah.
Really? Do we have to do a synopsis of Halloween?
Somebody might not have seen it.
Crazed lunatic comes back to kill his cousin.
Oh, say, don't give it away.
Crazed lunatic escapes and goes into a fictional town in Illinois and kills everybody.
Yay!
Well,
Illinois.
close enough.
I think it was actually California, wasn't it? It's Illinois in the film.
It's Illinois in the film, but it's shot in California.
They even had to paint the leaves green, so I believe. Did you know that?
I didn't.
Ah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
It sounds like they probably did.
Yes, they did. It's supposed to be autumn, isn't it? And I believe it was actually filmed in the spring, so they painted the leaves different colours.
Yeah.
There you go.
But you did not mention who the DP was in this film.
Dean Cundy.
Yes.
Oh, God, didn't have to resort to IMDb then. I knew that.
I figured you would. I'm not even on IMDb.
I am.
But, Dean Cundy, this was one of his first films, or early on in his career, but he goes on to have an amazing career.
Doing what?
Whatever it is DPers do.
I actually saw his name in a film recently. I can't remember what it was. Oh, didn't he do The Witch Who Came from the Sea?
I believe he did.
I believe he did as well. That one springs to mind. Anyway, Halloween. Well, I'm guessing you saw this in cinemas first time round, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
You didn't? I thought you did.
No.
Okay.
No. No, I did not. I've never seen it in the cinema.
No, I've never seen it on a big screen, actually. No.
Yeah, I saw it as soon as it was available on VHS, and I could get away with renting it.
Okay, because you are really, it would be correct to say, the Halloween fanboy, aren't you?
Yes, I am the Halloween fanboy and complete apologist for the Halloween series.
Yeah.
This is a classic example of how things go from, drinking out of the skulls of your enemies to what the fuck are they doing?
Well, yes.
I mean, let's be honest, right?
Mm. Okay.
Let's be honest. When we get to those later films, we're going to have some discussions.
I think we might.
We're going to have some discussions.
I think we're going to have a bit of an Amityville 2 discussion on our hands at a certain point.
Yes, we will.
I think we will. But I don't think we will with this first one.
No, I don't think we will either.
I think we'll be in agreement with this one.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, when it comes to Halloween, I don't have an affection for it.
Why is that?
And I don't know why. I saw this film in the 80s when it was on telly. I was probably about 10, something like that. But it never resonated with me the way that Friday the 13th did, or Nightmare on Elm Street did.
Okay.
I don't know why. I can't remember whether I saw this one or Halloween 3 first. I think it was this one. But no, I always thought Halloween was very po-faced, very serious. And I know the first films in franchises normally are, but as the franchise goes on, it's still just as serious, isn't it? I guess I always thought this was quite boring.
Really?
Yes. But hear me out.
Okay.
As I've gotten older and I've gotten to appreciate film as an art form, and I hope that doesn't sound too wanky, but you know what I mean. I've got to see how films are made and what directors are trying to do and all that sort of stuff. I have come to really, really like Halloween. And I guess looking back when I was young, I love Friday the 13th. I like the gore and all the blood and guts and tits and all that, which Halloween doesn't really have.
Oh, there's very little blood in it, if any, but it does. We do get a view of PJ Souls' lovely rack.
PJ Tits' Souls. Oh no, the other way around. Yes.
Yeah, something like that. But yes.
But see, Halloween I always thought was just a little bit too... And a lot of people I know used to really love Halloween, and I was like, well, no, I think you're just saying that. I don't think it's as good as Friday the 13th. I don't think it's as good as Nightmare on Elm Street, blah, blah, blah. Looking at it now, I think the first time I saw it on DVD probably made a difference. Because I think you could see a lot more of things that you couldn't see on the VHS, like Michael Myers and Shadow and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
And obviously now we've got Blu-ray and you can see even more. Yes, I think as a technical piece of work, I think it's up there with Jaws and Psycho. It's one of those films that is, quote unquote, perfect filmmaking.
Yes.
And on that level, I would give it top marks. I don't have that initial woo that I get out of Friday the 13th.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
I do. I have the initial woohoo for this one.
And I guess also I've seen this film loads, so I guess maybe just watching it too many times probably doesn't help either.
I think so. And, yeah. And I talked to you a little bit about the reticence of doing Halloween And part of it is because I just went through all, 8 movies?
Well, the original run, you've got 8 movies, haven't you?
10 movies. I just went through all 10 movies. Because I was kind of following along with our old friends over at Podcast Under the Stairs.
Oh, of course, yes.
Right. Baz v Horror.
Yeah, Baz watched them as well, yeah.
Yeah, or excuse me, it was Baz v Michael Myers.
There's a matchup. There's a Saturday Night Live fight, isn't it?
God. I was actually re-listening to that show a little bit, just kind of trying to get in the Halloween mood, and listen to Baz obsess about nurse characters. Just had me in stitches. Just had me in stitches.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think the standout thing for me in this movie, well, one of them is the freaking soundtrack, and that's what got me. That's what got me when I first watched it. Was holy shit, the soundtrack is like holy crap.
Actually, my ringtone on my mobile phone is the Halloween thing.
Mine used to be. Then I had to get a new phone. I just haven't been, couldn't have been arsed to put it back on. But I got a similar experience, and this is how I first started noticing directors and whatnot. Is I actually saw The Thing in the movie theaters.
Yeah.
And I went, holy shit! The thing that got me was the damn soundtrack. I mean, in a movie theater, it was, oh my God, awesome. And hey, wait a minute, this guy did Halloween. Ooh. Hey, wait a minute, he did these other movies. Ooh, So it was the soundtrack that got me for that movie.
I think that's quite important, actually, because John Carpenter, I mean, he insisted that he have his name on all of his films. So it was always John Carpenter's Halloween, John Carpenter's The Thing, John Carpenter's The Fog, all that sort of stuff. And again, I know you're a big John Carpenter fanboy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, to me, I was always a fan, in that era, I was always a fan of Wes Craven.
Okay.
And I openly admit, I don't think Wes Craven is as consistently brilliant a director as John Carpenter was. Again, I can look back at that run of John Carpenter's films, from Halloween right through to They Live, I think, and he batted out the park on all of them, I think.
I think so, too.
Yeah, there's a real consistency. And again, I think maybe not when you're younger, when you're older and you start looking at these things as pieces of work. Yeah, I mean, he got it bang right first time. People often say things like Black Christmas are the first slasher film, or even go back to Psycho, and, they play into it. But I think Halloween is the first slasher film. To me, that's the starting point.
It brings all the elements together that we consider a slasher film.
Yeah, it defined what we know as the slasher film. And I think, Friday the 13th would bring the gore in a couple of years later. And so that a lot of, that gets sort of called the template quite a lot. But I think Halloween is the first one where the masked killer, the silent killer, the teenagers, the good girl survives, that sort of thing, all the tropes that we know now. This was the first one that actually defined it and put it all together. And
Halloween never didn't rely on any gore aspects. It relied on pure camera angles to capture a scare, and I think that's...
Well, it's camera angles, lighting, the use of shadows, the use of score.
Yes.
It all came together, and I think, to me, the killer move in this film is Donald Pleasance.
Yes.
I think originally Peter Cushing was considered for the role, and I believe Christopher Lee turned it down. I don't know if either of them would have been... But Cushing I can see, certainly. I think Lee may have been a bit too intimidating. I think you needed somebody who would... when you put him up against Michael Myers, he doesn't look like a physical threat. And I think Donald Pleasance encapsulates that. He's got authority. He shouts a lot. He knows what he's on about. But, he's not a big guy. He's not a physical guy.
Right.
So, I think he was perfect in the role for that.
He was, and he's, kind of the crazy doctor of the trench coat kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Which was, they've always had kind of the kooky trench coat characters in the 70s TVs and movies. I mean,
he's the Ahab, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, look at Columbo. He's a nutty, kooky, goofy character who, ends up always being right. And here we have Donald Pleasance in a trench coat, nutty, kooky, but he ends up right,
That's right, yeah. So I think it would have been interesting to see Peter Cushing do the role. I could see it. I can certainly see it.
I can't.
No?
I can't. No, I can't do it.
Oh, okay.
No, I can't. Or Christopher Lee either.
Lee, I can't see. No, I believe Lee was asked and turned it down.
I would think Lee would have to approach it from the, Sherlock Holmes perspective of, proper Englishmen investigating,
Knowing what we know about Christopher Lee, I think he probably would have looked at it and seen that it was a modern gore, or not gore film, but a modern sort of slasher film, and just thought, no, this isn't what I want to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, they got Pleasance. I believe most of their budget went on getting Donald Pleasance as well.
Probably, because they didn't have really, I would imagine a lot of their budget went to Donald Pleasance, plus the amount of contraptions that I'm sure Dean Cundy had to build to get the right shadows and the right lighting, because that was, it made the movie. You throw that soundtrack in there and you're like, holy shit, these people know what they're doing.
So what do you think about Jamie Lee Curtis?
She's fine.
She's fine. Do you think she's like the ultimate scream queen? The ultimate final girl?
Oh, boy. I never thought about it.
Because she's often the template when people talk about, final girls and heroines in horror films. You always get Jamie Lee Curtis's name come up.
I don't know about ultimate, but she's certainly up there.
She's the archetype for that sort of thing.
Yes, that I would agree with.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, she's not my favourite.
It's... blindly stabbing with a knitting needle, great aim with the coat hanger,
Yeah, we'll get onto that again in the next one, because I've got something to say about that. But yeah, ultimately, this is a very simple film. It's the masked killer returns to his hometown, starts doing away with the babysitters, basically.
Yep.
Some great little jump scares. I love that bit. It's very famous, where you've got the Jamie Lee Curtis in the foreground, and you've got Michael Myers laying down in the background, and he suddenly sits up.
Yes. Yes.
You know it's going to happen, but it still works.
It does. You still get that little, ooh, that's creepy.
Yeah.
At least I do.
Watching this, actually, I didn't watch this the other night. I watched Halloween 2 the other night, but they do play the end of Halloween 1 at the beginning. And you've got Loomis, who's got a revolver, and he says, I fired 6 shots into him. He actually fires 7.
Yeah, but then he can't say, I shot him 6 times. I shot him 6 times.
I know, but also the revolver only holds 6. He shoots him 7 times.
Well, I didn't count.
But yeah, there you go. That's just me being nerdy.
Anal retentive.
And I love that sound effect when he falls out the balcony at the end and he hits the ground. It's that same effect that used to be in the Pink Panther cartoon. When someone hits the floor, you got that. I love that.
And then there's the impression.
Oh, yeah. Suddenly the grass is all wet and there's a big impression in there. Like someone's drawn round his body.
Yeah, I know.
It's like something like the Naked Gun, isn't it?
So what's your favorite shot in Halloween?
The one that I always think of is there's a shot of one of the houses, and I think Jamie Lee Curtis is looking out the window, and she sees Michael Myers just come out the front door and walk across the road. It's in shadow, most of it. All you can make out is the house.
Yeah.
But you just suddenly see him walk out the dark. I love that shot. And like I said, when you watch it on DVD and Blu-ray, you get to see all this. I never noticed until I watched it on DVD first time that Michael Myers drives past them in the car when they're in town.
Really?
When they're in town.
Yeah, he does.
In the daylight. Yeah, he drives. I'd never noticed that. It was only till probably, when did I watch this on DVD? Probably about 10, 12 years ago. I just thought, oh, he's in the car.
Did you notice that the window on the passenger side was whole again?
Yeah.
After he cracked it?
Yeah. So yeah, it's those little touches, and I think that is what's key to Halloween. I think there are subtleties that you have to watch it more than once to pick up on.
Yes.
And I think that's what makes it such a well put together film.
I don't know, for me, it's the shot where the girls are walking home from school.
And he steps out from behind the hedge.
He does. And it's just, it's jarring and creepy.
But again, I'm thinking back when I first saw that when it was on telly, you couldn't make out that it was him. You just sort of basically saw a black blob move. So it's like,
yes.
what have they just seen? Have they seen somebody in a mask? Have they seen someone in a boiler suit? You can't make out what it was.
Right. There was a parody somewhere on YouTube where they did a parody of Jamie Lee Curtis looking down at the laundry and seeing Michael Myers there.
Oh yeah.
And then look away, he was gone, and she looked back and he was there, or something like that. How they'd have to really do it in real life. They showed Michael Myers running around. It was stupid funny.
Yeah, I think you have to suspend disbelief on a few of these things.
Well, yeah. How the hell does he learn how to drive?
Well, yeah, that's always been a popular one. He's been in prison since he was 6.
I know. He just jumps in there and hauls ass.
They've obviously got some sort of a good rehabilitation program.
Yeah, exactly.
And that, talking about parody, that's the other thing, of course, is that Halloween has been parodied to death. So when you actually go back to the source material, it can be quite surprising how effective it actually is.
Yes, and he always kind of remains scary, like Jason does. I mean, Jason kind of is always scary, whereas
but Jason had a motive. We knew what Jason's motive was, but you never do with Michael Myers.
True. Whereas Freddy Krueger became kind of like the family sitcom funny guy.
Yeah.
And I guess I call that the Kiss effect. I mean, there was a time when Kiss was edgy in the early 70s, and then they became a family affair, and it just kind of, went downhill from there.
Once the disco hit and they started being family friendly.
Oh, God almighty.
I was made for loving you and all that stuff.
Shut up. That's just embarrassing. God help us.
Yes. Okay. Anything else to add on Halloween?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. I would recommend, if you can, pick up the 35-year anniversary Blu-ray.
Yes, that's the one that I have because it comes in the Scream Factory Anchor Bay compilation. That's the disc you get.
Okay. Well, over here it was released as a steelbook. I don't know if you got that in the US.
No, we got it as They did weird things here. They did like these hardback booklet releases almost.
Okay.
And that's how it got released here.
Because Halloween, the whole series, it has not been well served over here on Blu-ray. We haven't got the...
you guys didn't get it?
We haven't got the box set like you've got over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've got them all on Blu-ray, but they're all from different companies on different editions.
There's two versions over here. There's you get a cheaper all 10 disc movies,
Yeah.
And then you can get the more expensive version, which is the one I have.
Yeah.
With individual cases for each movie, plus a little booklet.
Okay, yeah, so we didn't get that over here. So unless you've got a Blu-ray player that plays US,
right,
we can't get one. I think even DVD, I think there's some out of print DVD box sets that have got them all in.
Oh, really?
Yes, out of print, go for a lot of money. What else have we got? I've got a box set that's got Halloween's 1 to 5 in.
Okay.
On DVD. I've also got the 25 Years of Terror DVD, which comes with the documentary. Have you seen that one?
Yes.
Yeah, I've got that. I've also got another DVD of it that comes with the TV version, which has got an extra couple of scenes in it.
Okay.
I've also got the standard UK Blu-ray, which is pretty much just a standard Blu-ray conversion, and I've got the 35-year anniversary disc.
Okay, very cool.
Well, I've got that as a review disc. I didn't get the steelbook packaging, unfortunately.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I should have nabbed one. There was a period when I think Amazon were knocking out the steelbook for like $7.99, and I didn't get it.
Oh, don't you hate that?
Yeah, now they've put it. I think you can get one for less than 20 quid, but it's still sort of like 16, 17 quid.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But I've got the disc, so I have, because I reviewed it. It's my full written review is on Ancient Slumber, actually. But get that version
very
because
cool.
It is, the picture quality is different to the standard UK version. A lot of what was dark blue in that version is now black in this version, as it should be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a lot better.
Interesting.
But it's Halloween. It's readily available on pretty much all formats. It's on telly quite often still. Yeah, so what are you giving it, Myron, as if I need to ask?
You don't need to ask. I'm giving it a 5.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 5 as well. Like I said, I don't have the emotional attachment to it, but I think on a technical level, it's pretty damn near perfect.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Excellent. No mucking around with that one.
Halloween 2.
Might change now, though. Halloween 2. Let's play a trailer.
I shot him 6 times. I shot him in the heart. This man, he's not human.
Universal Pictures presents Halloween 2. More of the night he came home.
Who is it?
There was nothing within him, neither conscience nor reason, that wasn't even remotely human.
Some kind of a joke? I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight.
You don't know what death is.
Janet, go tell Mr. Garrett we're having trouble with the phones.
There there is no place to hide. He will always find you.
What's this? It's a Celtic word. It means the Lord of the Dead.
Mr. Garrett?
Halloween 2. More of the night he came home.
Okay, Halloween 2, 1981, directed by Rick Rosenthal, starring Jamie Lee Curtis, Donald Pleasance, Charles Cyphers, Jeffrey Kramer, Lance Guest, Dick Warlock, Tawny Moyer, and Leo Rossi. Sorry, did I say something funny?
Dick Warlock.
Oh, no, it's a great name, isn't it? He's a stuntman.
It's like, Dick Pound and all those other just phenomenal names. Dick Warlock. I mean, think about that for a minute.
CCH Pounder.
Dick Warlock.
Making his way to center ring, Dick Warlock versus CCH Pounder. Let's get ready to rumble. That'd be brilliant. I'd pay to see
except
that.
for CCH Pounder's a girl.
So, sexist.
God.
Does that mean she can't hit somebody?
Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Here we go.
Go on then, synopsis.
Continued from Halloween night, Michael Myers isn't finished.
Yep, that's about it. Thanks very much. Goodbye.
Right? Isn't that the synopsis?
Yeah, basically, it's more of the night he came home.
Yes.
So,
yes.
We pick up exactly where we left off.
I saw this in a theater.
Okay.
This one I did see in the theater, and it was creepy as hell in the movie theater.
Was it?
It was.
Wow.
Yep. Yes, it does pick up. It loops in the last few minutes of Halloween, and then it goes from there. This is where we get that, because we don't see the impression in the grass in the first Halloween, but we get down level.
I think you get a very brief shot from up above, but yeah, it's not not the same.
But
yeah.
This one, we get the full-on, Wile E. Coyote impression in the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, it just... And here is where Donald Pleasance goes full on tilt.
Oh, he's great in this film. Yeah. This is because he shoots him 6 times. This one has my favourite line in the whole series.
Oh, God, what is that?
Is that when the guy comes out his house and says, "I've been trick-or-treated to death," and he says, "You don't know what death is," and just walks off.
That's right.
Brilliantly deadpan. It's the way he says it, and he gives him that look and just turns around and walks off. That is fantastic, yeah. That could have come straight out of a comedy show.
Yeah. But anyway, so what do we have? We have Jamie Lee Curtis is taken to a local
hospital where they try and remove her wig, but they can't.
Yes, hospital where, and I use that in quotes because it's like the deadest hospital I've ever seen. There's like, one nurse there and the 2 paramedics. Is it an abandoned
hospital? Is it one that's been closed down and no one's told them?
Kind of looks like it, doesn't it? It's got like 10 rooms.
Yeah.
That the doctor looks like he just, rolled out from an all-night drinking binge.
Yeah, they've got the doctor in from the pub. He's a bit narked. He was halfway through a pint. And they just called last orders.
Exactly.
And he was next to go on the pool table when they pulled him away. And he's, "Oh damn! Oh right, what's going on? Let's look at these people." Because he looks at Jamie Lee Curtis, decides that she needs to stay in because her wig isn't going anywhere. It's eating into her brain. Lance Guest appears, and I'm going to have to disagree with Amanda on Twitter. I don't see why Lance Guest is so hot in this. He just looks like a nerd. I don't get it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And really, really what I think in this movie is that doctor's going to have to pull the razor blade out of that poor kid's mouth.
Oh,
Holy
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
He's in trouble.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, there's that little kid with the razor blade in his mouth. Yeah. That doctor's in for a shit night. You know what? God, I reckon.
If anybody wants a detailed analysis of the nurses or the razor blade kid, I refer you to Podcast Under the Stairs, the episode where the Baz v. Michael Myers 1, 2, and 3. In the review of number 2, Baz will give you what can only be described as the best take on the kid with the razor blade and the nurses in the movie. It is the best.
It is worth a listen. So yeah. So Laurie, as she's called, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, is in hospital after the events of the night before, or the same night, sorry. Michael Myers is still on the loose. Loomis, played by Donald Pleasance, is still running around shooting him 6 times in a revolver that holds 7, which I've never heard of. Yeah, it all kicks off again.
It does.
So, you saw this in theatres.
Yes.
I didn't see this in theatres. This was actually... I didn't see this one till very, very late, till the 90s.
Okay.
It just wasn't available. It wasn't available in any of the shops where I lived. It wasn't. None of the video shops had this one. I never saw it on telly. I don't think it was on telly, not that I remember. Yeah, I didn't see this till the early 90s. I think my sister's then boyfriend picked up a video copy of it and just left it around our house. I think I just sat and watched it then.
Okay.
Again, it was a VHS copy, so a lot of the shadow effects and things like that didn't really make much sense on VHS. I've got to say, I'm not that struck on this one. This is probably the one I've seen the least out of the whole series.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's fine, but I've always thought that Halloween is a film that doesn't need a sequel. It didn't need a sequel, so, I'm quite happy to write the rest of them off and say, that's it, I just like the first one. But I'm not going to do that. But for this one, I think it's fine. I rewatched it the other night. What do you reckon if John Carpenter had returned to direct? Do you think it would be a little bit more snappy?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, he just produced it, him and his... I think it was his wife or soon-to-be ex-wife at the time, Deborah Hill.
Yeah, well, they wrote it, and he's down as a producer as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got weird parts in it that come out of nowhere and really have, I don't know, fuck all to do with the movie.
Yeah.
What the hell were they doing in the school?
Oh, and it's got Sam Hain written on the wall and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Where the hell does that shit come from?
Yeah. It feels like the sequel was going to be made.
No, that was a real question. That wasn't a rhetorical. Where the hell did it come from? Why did they write Sam Hain?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, seriously, have I missed something in all my years of seeing this?
No.
Does it have anything to do with the movie?
It does come. I mean, with hindsight, when you look at where the sequels would go with sort of part 6, okay, you could tie it in there. But
yes,
they went nowhere with it then as well. So. Yeah, it seems to me they had an idea.
That was not for lack of trying.
They were going to make the sequel anyway. They went to John Carpenter. He gave his ideas. I mean, he's even himself said that he struggled to come up with a cohesive story. It feels forced. It's weird timing, this film. It's like the beginning bit when they're carrying on from when they're out on the streets and all that, and they're looking for Michael Myers. That bit I quite like. There's a bit of an excitement, a bit of an edge to it then. As soon as they get to the hospital, it just stops.
It does slow way down for sure.
Yeah. And they spend way too long on things like watching Jamie Lee Curtis crawl from room to room. It's like, we get the point, but the camera's just on her watching her crawl, and it's like you're losing all your momentum here. So then when you do switch to another scene, you've got to try and remember what was happening elsewhere in the film.
Right.
It just doesn't feel like there's an energy to it.
It's one of those movies where you watch it the first few times, you're like, holy shit, this is really good. But on subsequent viewings, it gets harder and harder to buy into it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's still a good movie to me. I still love it. But it's like harder and harder to overlook things. And I keep going back to what the hell were they doing in the school? And, but it did. It moved out. It moved okay when they stayed away from the hospital. You got the old lady and the ham sandwich.
Oh yeah.
You got the you don't know what real death is. They got a lot of those. They got a lot of those great shots, and
yeah, there are moments, but I think
they got the great shot of the 17-year-old getting T-boned and it's just batshit crazy.
But if you took all of those good bits, and most of those are in the first third of the film,
right?
If you took those bits and just extended the first film, you wouldn't need the rest of Halloween 2, would you?
No, you wouldn't.
No, it just.
And how the hell are you going to get an autopsy run on Halloween night?
Well, there's no other fucker in that hospital, but yet they can call on someone to do an autopsy. They haven't even got a porter.
A pathologist.
There's no one on bloody reception, yet they've got fucking autopsies. No.
The other doctors half in the bag, but they got, the pathologist who comes in, like he just slept 20 hours.
Mm.
Fastest dental record review at night ever.
on a public holiday.
On a Halloween, yeah. I mean, just think about that, right?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But the bit that always gets me, and this is the bit I can't get past, and it's no matter how many shit grindhouse nude nuns with big guns films I watch, this is the bit that can't get me, is when it's the final scene, you've got Loomis, Jamie Lee Curtis, or Laurie Strode, sorry, and Michael Myers in the same room together.
Yes.
Laurie Strode picks up a gun, fires 2 shots, and each bullet goes exactly in Michael Myers' eyes.
Yes. Yes.
I didn't do it, but I should have calculated how many shots Loomis fired before he fired them 2, because we know he's got a revolver that doesn't need reloading very often. She picks up a gun. Bear in mind, there's a kick on those revolvers, We're not talking about water pistol.
Yeah.
She just picks it up casually, goes blang, blang. 1 bullet in one eye, 1 bullet in the other eye. Fantastic. Dead shot. She should be in a competition for that sort of shooting.
Yep. So she runs out.
Mm.
Loomis pops the lighter that he borrowed from the cop because the cop gave him a cigarette.
What was that gas?
Oxygen.
Is oxygen flammable like that?
In that environment, probably. But you got to be careful because yeah, it is.
Okay.
They also had a little port that said ether too, and that's horrifically flammable.
Oh, I suppose. Hell of an explosion though as well, wasn't it?
It was. But miraculously, Big Donnie P makes an appearance in another movie.
Oh, no, we'll get there next time. Don't worry. Don't spoil it. With his little...
Spoil it!
His little stick-on rubber scar for such a huge explosion. He's got a bit of turkey skin stuck to the side of his head. Yeah. We'll get there next show. Don't worry about that.
Oh, God help me.
Yeah. But let's pretend that film doesn't exist for a minute. Let's just go with Halloween 2.
Yes.
I like the fact that, yes, by this time Friday the 13th had come out. I think Friday the 13th Part 2 came out the same year. So I think John Carpenter himself says, the game was getting up. You needed more gore to compete.
Right.
So, right. I like Michael Myers needed to go out in a sort of gruesomely bloody fashion, which he sort of does. But the fact that you've got crackshot Jamie Lee Curtis with her 2 bullets. Oh, wouldn't you have liked Michael Myers to have gone, my eyes, my eyes? And the mask. Doesn't the mask look different?
Oh, yes. Yes,
I believe the mask is actually different in every film. I think I'll be right in saying that.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
I think you are.
Yeah.
I think you are right.
With maybe the exception of the 2 Rob Zombie
So
films.
what is your favorite? Well, but in the second Rob Zombie one,
he doesn't really have it that much, does he?
Yes, he doesn't, which is a whole other to do. But
we'll get there. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. What's your favorite shot in this movie?
I don't really have a favourite shot in this film. Okay, I love that line, but you don't know what death is. So I'm going to say that. That's my favourite bit. Because I suppose the way Loomis looks at the guy is funny.
Classic Sam Loomis right there.
Yeah.
They have a shot where they have a red stoplight.
Hmm.
And when you blink, the red stoplight is then behind Michael Myers' face. Kind of the red light.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That shot when I saw it in the theater, holy shit, I pissed myself. It scared the crap out of me, and love that shot.
Yeah. Just say, there are little bits in here. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. And I don't think it's a bad film at all. But I guess Halloween set the bar quite high, and again, you had 2 Friday the 13th films as well. I just think this feels a little bit desperate in places, a little bit like we need to rush out a sequel to compete with Friday the 13th. And I just think it's fine. It's not great.
We have entered the era of the sequels.
Yeah, we're in the franchise territory now. That's
yeah.
So, go on then. What are you going to score it?
4.5.
Really?
I love this movie. I have got problems with this movie out the yip-de-hoo, but I still love it. And I think it's probably more nostalgia than quality on this one for me.
Okay. Well, yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
But, 4.5.
Okay. I'm going to go with 3.
All right.
I think, when you put it up against the rest of the sequels, it's better than most of them. I won't say all of them.
Well, now, and we're going to have to define sequels here, because we can't really call the last 2 sequels. So if we put this up against the rest of the sequels,
the original sequels.
Yes.
Yeah, not the Rob Zombie. We'll keep them separate for the moment.
Yeah, we have to, because those were reboots or reimagines.
Yeah, they're their own thing. So
yes.
Although I will include them in the same thing when we do our final.
Yes. Yeah.
Roundup.
Yeah.
But yeah. As far as the films in this canon are concerned, that's what we'll talk about. We'll keep them separate. So yeah, I think to me it's better than some of the later sequels. Not as good as some of the others. It's a fairly middle film. I don't think it's great, so I'm going to give it a 3.
Okay.
If you're going to watch one, watch it. But it's not brilliant.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
Again, the fact that I probably saw parts 4 and 5 before I saw this.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Yeah, I've got things to say about them. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right then, should we move on to the next one?
Yes.
Oh, we'll have some fun now. Right, let's play a trailer.
Season of the Witch, the night no one comes home.
You don't really know much about Halloween. Halloween, the barriers will be down between the real and the unreal. And the dead might be looking in. The last great one took place 3,000 years ago when the hills ran red.
Halloween, the children.
You happen to know anything about this Cochran?
All I can tell you, mister, is watch out. He's watching you, friend, I guarantee you that.
Trick or treat.
Hey, Mr. Cochran, just what is the final process?
Fellas, I was just kidding.
Witchcraft. To us, it was a way of controlling our environment.
Hey!
Where are they taking her?
They're taking her to the factory.
I want a mask. Can I have a mask?
Just what I had in mind for you, little buddy. Why, Cocker? Why? Do I need a reason?
I've got nothing here to indicate there was ever a body at all.
Operator, this is an emergency.
I do love a good joke, and this is the best ever. A joke on the children. I'm glad you'll be able to watch it.
You've got to believe me!
They're going to kill us. All of us.
Stop it!
Halloween. The world's going to change tonight, Doctor. Happy Halloween.
Stop it!
Halloween 3, season of the witch, the night no one comes home.
Right then, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, from 1982. Directed by Tommy Lee Wallace. Starring Tom Atkins, Stacey Nelkin, Dan O'Hurley, Michael Curry, Garn Stevens, Nancy Keys, and Jonathan Terry. Right. Give us a plot synopsis.
Evil Halloween company wants to take over the world.
Where's Michael Myers?
There is no Michael Myers.
There is. It's on the telly in one of the shots.
What?
In one of the scenes, one of the kids is watching Halloween.
Yeah, okay. You're right.
So there is a Michael Myers.
Yeah, there is a Michael Myers.
But he's not the focus in this one.
That's tenuous at best.
It is.
Tenuous at best. The focus in this movie is Tom Atkins' mustache.
Oh, Tom Atkins. We'll get to Tom Atkins in a minute. But yeah, John Carpenter was not as involved in this. I think he was a producer on this one. This is where this is the bastard offspring of the Halloween series, isn't it? This is the one a lot of people have a problem with because it's nothing to do with Michael Myers.
Yes.
So we got a toy company who make masks, rubber masks.
Here's a question for you.
Oh, go on then.
What is the one constant through all of the original Halloween movies?
The score.
No.
The producer, Mustafa Akkad.
Yes. Well, or his family.
Yeah.
Yep. The Akkad family is the only constant through all these movies that I could ever find.
Yes.
Started out with Mustafa, and then it passed on to his families after he, passed away.
He passed away in 9/11, didn't he? I believe.
I think so.
And ironically, it's the 11th of September today. Oh, there you go. Ooh.
It is. Well, maybe not after he passed away, but certainly after he retired.
I think, I'm pretty sure. I may be wrong. I'm sure. Yeah, sure I read that. Anyway, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. This is where the series took a turn. Michael Myers is not involved, and the idea was to make the Halloween series a series of individual horror stories. Each next film will be a different story.
Yep.
Even though they've done 2 on Michael Myers, but there you go. Which always sort of bothered me why they would do 2 on Michael Myers, then go to another one, and then claim it's the same series. But there you go. So yeah, in this one, we got Tom Atkins, your poor man's Tom Selleck. That's very cruel. I love Tom Atkins. I'd rather watch Tom Atkins than Tom Selleck, to be honest. Not my favourite Tom Atkins role, though. That's still Night of the Creeps.
Gotcha.
Oh, fantastic. Yep, Tom Atkins plays a doctor called Daniel Chalice, who loves a drink and doesn't love his ex-wife. But to be fair, she's not exactly the most forgiving character in this whole thing. I can see why he doesn't like her that much. She's a bit of a bitch.
Well, I think he's got his own transgressions with younger women too, doesn't he?
I think he does.
Yeah.
But Daniel Chalice, he gets involved in a story where somebody's rushed into his hospital who has been very badly attacked, and he does a bit of investigating. He ends up in a small town where a factory makes Halloween masks.
The Silver Shamrock Factory. I know.
Oh, dear.
Oh, God help me.
Yeah, and this company, Silver Shamrock, is run by an Irish fella called Conal Cochran, played by Dan O'Hurley. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. He's concocted a plan where he wants all the children to wear a Silver Shamrock mask at a certain time on a certain day, because the advert on the telly will trigger a mechanism which turns their heads to mush. Now, the big problem with this film. Why?
Nobody ever knows.
No one knows. What's his problem?
With the kids of the world.
Yeah. Conal Cochran wants to kill all the kids in the world. He never really explains why. He just wants to.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it's a little bit...
And we've got some of the original Men in Black in this movie, right?
Oh, yes.
They're in black suits, black sunglasses, they drive black cars.
Yeah, he goes a little bit Bond villain at the end, and he sort of ties up Tom Atkins and relays out the whole plot to him, except for the actual main plot of why he's doing what he's doing.
I know. He can't take over the world after he's done this. I mean,
yeah. But for some reason, he wants to kill all the kids.
Even Blofeld wanted to, rule the world.
At least Blofeld had a point. He had an end game that there was a reason why. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very odd thing, this film. I'll say about come out the gate now. I love this film. I think it's great.
Me too. It's awesome. I don't care what anybody says.
In reality, it feels like an episode of The Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
And I can understand people not getting on board with it, but it's so much fun.
It is.
It is so much fun. Tom Atkins is fantastic because he doesn't know what's going on. No one knows what's going on.
But he's not adverse to porking the young ones while he's doing it, so.
Yeah, and I don't know how many doctors normally get involved in murder investigations like this. My doctor doesn't.
There's Quincy.
I suppose, yes. So he's sort of a doctor doubling up as a detective. He goes to this town. It's a great setting. I love this small town. I don't know if it's sort of places that exist in real life. I'm sure they do, but it's a town that's built around this one factory where everybody's employed. You know, there's a curfew on the town. Nobody's allowed out after, is it 9 o'clock or something? 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock?
I don't know, but that's when the Men in Black come out.
Yeah. But they're not really... Oh, God, yeah. It is bonkers. It is a bonkers film.
It always reminds me of the Innsmouth town in H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh, yes.
You know?
Yeah, that's a good call, yeah.
It's great stuff.
It really is.
And how he powers the little badges on the back of a Halloween mask is... I don't know...
Even though you can pull them apart with a hair clip.
Yes. I don't know what they were smoking when they came up with this idea, but they should have shared it with the world.
I believe it went through a couple of scripts as well. I do believe... what's the chap's name? Matheson. Did Richard Matheson come up with an idea contribution to this? I'm sure I read
He probably did.
Yeah. I think it went through a few script changes as well. It does feel a little bit incomplete. Like, yeah, you've got this story, but you haven't got a reason why it's actually happening. But yeah, it's so insane. I saw this in the 80s on video, and it was also on telly, because you only ever got Halloween 1 or 3 on telly. They wouldn't, for some reason you never got Halloween 2. I don't know why. I can't remember whether I saw this or the Halloween one first. But yeah, I loved it. I will rewatch this film to death. I've seen it so many times over the years, and I don't get bored of it.
No.
I've got it on Blu. I picked up an American Blu-ray actually, but it's region free.
Oh, okay.
Same as Halloween 2. I've got both of those. I've got American editions that are region free. You can pick them up on Amazon fairly cheap. It does look pretty good on Blu-ray because there are versions of it that are cut. The UK DVD. You know the scene where the woman picks apart the badge and gets that electric shock?
Yes.
And you see her face all mangled up. On
Yes.
some versions on DVD, that bit's cut out.
Really?
Yes, and I believe that was the TV cut over here. When they showed it on telly, that was the bit they always cut out.
Interesting.
Yes. I also believe there is a DVD version in the UK with a commentary from Kim Newman, which I'm desperate to hear. I don't know if my version's got that, actually, because I've got that box set. So
Interesting.
I might have a listen for that.
Kim Newman.
Oh, yes. Love a bit of Kim Newman. But, yeah, not a lot else to say, really. Like I say, it's an episode of The Twilight Zone, just stretched out a little bit longer. Could you believe that this took place in the same universe as the Michael Myers story?
No, I don't think so.
No. It's interesting, actually, when you have a film like this that is sort of universally hated when it comes out, but yet, over time, people warm to it. And I think something like On Her Majesty's Secret Service suffers the same thing as well. Because I can remember being a kid, and that was the one everybody hated because it wasn't Sean Connery and it wasn't Roger Moore and all this sort of stuff. But now it sort of gets reappraised and people really like it. And I think this is the same thing.
It absolutely is. That is a perfect analogy.
Yeah, it is. So, yeah, it's not the same as the other Halloween films, but I still think it's better than most of the Halloween films.
How did they figure out that if you get parts of Stonehenge, do they move all of Stonehenge or just one or two parts?
That's a fucking lot of work, I tell you. How are you going to how can you nick Stonehenge without anyone noticing? How are you going to get it across to America?
I don't know. But they did, didn't they?
What freight company are you using? How'd you get it out of the UK port?
Then they line it up and hit it with the boom or some shit. Laser beams were bouncing everywhere. It was just great fun. I don't care what anybody says.
It's a great fun film, but yeah, don't read into it too much. I mean,
God, no, don't.
Stonehenge is quite away from the sea, so you've got to get it from Stonehenge to the port, then across to America.
That's right.
Get it into the American ports and get it to where... Yeah, don't think about it.
Exactly. But it's good stuff.
It is good
Absolutely
stuff.
good stuff.
It's endlessly rewatchable.
Yep.
It's quite well put together. It does feel very early 80s, so you have to have a few allowances here and there for some of the special effects. But apart from that, it's a good, fun film, and I heartily recommend it. It gets a 3.5 from me.
Is that all? Wow, Chris.
Yeah, because
Wow.
I think it's fun more than it is technically good.
It gets a 4 from me.
A 4? Well, that's high praise indeed.
Well, I watch a lot of found footage, so let's be careful how we toss that around.
Any of these films would be a 4 then compared to that. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, so there you go. That's Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. I would say dissected, not really dissected, just discussed.
That's right. Because part of the problem when you get into these juggernaut franchises, everybody's dissected them. It's just it's much more fun to just sit around, talk about them, and laugh about them.
Well, we're not academics, are we? We're not going to sit there and go into, this, that, and the other, and the motives for doing this and the reason for doing that. We enjoy it or we don't, and we'll say why. That's about it.
Exactly.
But yeah, Halloween 3, it is one of those ones I will go back to and just watch, because it's fun.
And we'll always laugh at nude nuns with big guns.
Always. That film will never not be not boring.
No, it's just... I hope it's better than Nude for Satan.
Well, I haven't seen that, so I don't know, but I was bidding on one of them on eBay, actually, and I lost.
God, give up after you get to a quid or a pound.
I think that was my highest bid, actually.
There you go.
It's expensive. It's expensive to get hold of if you want to buy it properly. It's about 20 quid.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Do not pay 20 quid for that movie.
I'm not going
crap.
to. I'm not
God
going to, but I do want to see it. But I don't want to pay more than £2 or £3 for it.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's yes,
including shipping.
Yeah.
Oh well, right. There's our first 3 Halloween films looked at.
In the bin.
Next show we will look at parts 4, 5, and 6. Which may or may not be quite so positive. I don't know.
Oh, well, what do you say we move into some feedback?
Let's do some feedback. Okay, we got 3 bits of feedback.
3 bits? Wow.
We got 3. You've got one to read out, I've got one to read out, and we've got Mr. Gore.
Well, how about I do the reading first?
Okay, who's yours from?
Mine is from Amanda over at Made for TV Mayhem Podcast.
I bet she fancies everybody in this film.
We're going to find out, trust me. It says, "Hi guys, I'm excited about your Halloween retrospective. Can fall be near? Probably not here in Texas, but a girl can dream. Well, it depends on, Amanda, where you live in Texas. If you lived, like me, on the Gulf Coast, there is no fall. In fact, you can mow your yard on Christmas Eve in shorts.
Oh, lovely.
But, if you're up near the Panhandle, Amarillo, you'll be fall. I'm sure you're already going to cover what I say trivia-wise about these movies, so I'll just write brief notes on how the first 2 films have impacted my life."
She's given us far too much credit for trivia,
I know.
Trivial. I don't know about trivia.
God, I love Amanda, but brief notes with her are, buckle in, folks.
Okay, go on then.
Like so many kids who grew up in the 80s, I first caught Halloween on television. Fairly early on, too. My friend down the street was one of the first people in our hood not only to own a VCR, but also have cable. Wow. Yeah.
Mm.
We saw so many movies at a very young age, and I remember days at his house meant Jaws, Jaws 2, along with a few other films. I watched it all voraciously, except for Halloween. I remember he told me his mother had taped it and asked if I wanted to watch it after school. While Jaws and Jaws 2 were scary, I really wasn't prepared for anything like Halloween. I remember it was one of those beautifully bright days, but his house was very dark inside, and watching the movie with him, even a hint of a shadow really did a number on my brain. Amanda, I can get behind that. Trust me.
I can relate to a lot of this, actually. I grew up
Yeah,
watching Jaws
exactly.
and Halloween and all that, around my friend's house and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
I didn't really sleep for 2 nights. I remember my father staying up with me and reading comics to me until I fell asleep. Oh, look at that, a good dad. Looking back, I'm not sure what the scariest thing I saw in the movie. It just felt like the whole thing was so serious and terrifying. Walking suburban streets in the daytime soon became dangerous. To this day, when I go running in the early hours and I see a creepy car, I always say, "Hey jerk, speed kills." It will be the end of me for sure. Nice knowing you guys, by the way. Well, always remember, go ahead and do the PJ Souls or the other character's statement and say something like, "God, can't you take a joke?" It had a very profound effect on me, and I still love every second of Halloween to this day. Good on you, Amanda, we do too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like I said in my Jaws feedback, I get that Halloween is a masterpiece, but I've seen Halloween 2 100 more times and just adore it. Sounds like someone else we know, Amanda.
Not
More
me.
Michael. Really? I thought you said that you saw Halloween 2 more.
No, that's the one I've seen the least, I said.
Oh, well, all right. Still good on you, man. More Michael, more violence. It just kind of has it all. I caught this one on television probably as a young teenager. And because I was exposed to the TV edit first, this is actually the version I prefer. Therefore, whenever I see it and Lance Guest doesn't make it to the end, I am sad. Poor Lance.
I want him to die in every film he's in. He didn't die in Jaws the Revenge either.
Oh, God, hell. There's actually a fan theory based on the TV version that basically says Lance's character is the father of Jamie, who is Laurie's daughter in 4 and 5, played by a young Danielle Harris.
Yeah, I think that's probably bollocks, actually, isn't it?
Well, it's fan fiction. Come on.
It's bollocks.
But Amanda believes it. She says so right here. I believe it.
Well, there you go.
According to Guest, his character was originally supposed to live, but the powers that be thought it was better just to have Laurie as the survivor. Now, and it's funny. We're going to talk about that little niggle when we hit into movie 4.
So is she the only survivor?
Well, we're going to find out.
We'll get there next time.
Son of a bitch. God almighty.
That's it. Have another drink.
Yeah.
You're doing well. Carry on.
Guest gave an audience the tidbit, although it might be well known, I'm not sure, at a Halloween 2 panel at Texas Frightmare earlier this year, which was really fun. I didn't know that Nancy Stevens, who plays Marion, was married to the director Rick Rosenthal. IMDb says they met on Halloween 2, but I think he actually had an acting class, or she did, and they met there first. Anna Alicia, who plays Janet, was also in the class. Interesting. Man, she's got more facts than we do. But you know what? If you ever listen to Amanda's show, she has facts and trivia coming out the yip-de-hoo. I don't know how she does it.
Because she prepares, unlike us.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Fair play. The production actually seemed like it was a lot of fun, and I think it came across in the film. It's just one of those movies I can watch on a loop. I'm a sucker for number 2s in horror franchises. Sad to say, I really like Halloween 3, but have not seen it in forever, so I can't add much except Tom Atkins is a god.
Yeah.
Looking forward to your thoughts. Take care, Amanda. Thank you so much, Amanda.
Yeah, thanks, Amanda. Great feedback, as always.
Yep. And you can catch Amanda and her podcasting partner, Dan, over at Made for Mayhem TV podcast.
That was an ominous pause before Dan.
Well, yeah, it was. I was
Lieutenant Dan.
Cheap potato vodka. Let's move on.
Right. I've got a bit of feedback here from Kristin Hawes. And she says, "Hey guys, this is Kristin, aka Kiki Writes on Twitter. I have many feelings on the Halloween franchise, and I always feel compelled to share them. Unfortunately for you, you decided to cover these movies and encourage feedback, so you brought this rambling brain spill on yourselves. Well, thanks, Kristin." Very nice of you. Right. She says, "Halloween is my favourite horror movie. It's a simple plot. Killer terrorises babysitters on Halloween night. But it's so effectively done. The tension build, the score, how it's shot, the acting, it all comes together so well. The reveal of the shape after Laurie finds her friends murdered in the Wallace's house, the way that white mask slowly appears in the dark, is one of my favourite scenes. It's startling and creepy at the same time. Laurie is a resourceful, believable final girl. She may be a bit of a shy intellectual, but she'll stab you in the neck with a knitting needle, and I can relate to that. Yeah, I won't ask how. Listening to the shape breathe as we see all of the places he's been is a chilling touch on what would have been an otherwise okay ending. The movie isn't perfect, I know. I live in Illinois. I can point out every non-Illinois thing in this Illinois set film. But the little nitpicks can't detract from a really great movie. I had the pleasure of seeing the movie on the big screen a few years ago, and it was fantastic. I bet it was. She continues.
No kidding.
Yeah. She continues. Halloween 2 slides straight into firm slasher sequel territory, picking up right where the first left off. Sure, it's problematic. Jamie Lee Curtis's hair is different because she had to wear a wig, but you expect Laurie's hair to look like shit. She's had a bad night. And oh hey, by the way, Dr. Loomis, the patient you've been treating for decades has a sister. And hey, it's that Laurie girl. Spoiler. Sorry, nobody ever mentioned it to you. They also didn't mention how much medical expertise Michael Myers picked up as he capably drained a nurse of all of her blood. This is the one kill that, while visually neat, has always bugged me because it's just too technical and time-consuming for Michael Myers. He's a hypodermic needle in the eye kind of guy. Yeah, that's a good kill. But despite its issues, I like it quite a bit. It's fun watching Michael Myers creep around that hospital, seen as shadows and on security cameras, while Dr. Loomis and the police dick around town looking for him. And of course, Lance Guest is hot. So I don't get it. No, he's not. Right then. It's taken me years to like Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. I saw it for the first time as a kid and it was an instant dislike. Maybe it was because there was no Michael Myers. Maybe it was because that scene with the kid's head melting in the pumpkin mask scarred me for life. Either way, I spent most of my time being snobby towards this film. However, in the past few years, thanks to my compulsion to watch all of the Halloween movies every October when they're on TV, I've decided that I don't actually hate it and it's not as bad as I thought it was. I appreciate what they were going for more now, even though I don't think they quite nailed it in the execution. But it's still got some great scenes. The aforementioned head melting, the lady getting her face blasted, the opening chase and subsequent murder of that poor guy, and the killer immolating himself. Tom Atkins yelling into the phone to shut off the commercials as one of them still plays is an effective ending. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on the first 3 Halloween movies. Good luck getting that restraining order in time to stop me from commenting on the rest of the franchise. There you go. Thanks very much, Kristen.
Thank you, Kristen.
Yes. So, I think we're all pretty unanimous on the first one, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we all agreed. I think the only point of difference really with the 4 of us is we have some discussion of the hotness of Tom Atkins, or excuse me, Lance Guest.
No, we don't. That's the manliest man you'll ever meet. Lance Guest, yeah, I don't
That's
get that.
right.
I don't get that.
And I meant the Lance Guest, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Right, we've got one more bit of feedback. It's from our good friend Gore over at Trilogy of Terror podcast. So we'll play that and then we'll come back with a comment.
Hi Chris and Myron, Gore Blimey here from Trilogy of Terror podcast, with some thoughts on one of the films you're looking at this episode. I was a big fan of Halloween when it first came out on VHS, and the same with Halloween 2. So just like a lot of people, when Halloween 3 Season of the Witch turned up with no sign of a serial killer, I felt a bit cheated. I totally get why people took an instant dislike to it. Yes, I know there were plans for it to be a series of different movies, and that would have probably worked if they hadn't already had a direct Part 2 sequel with the same main characters and story. So I wasn't an admirer of this third film back then, but I did wonder if I was being a bit unfair. Quite a few horror fans have said in recent years that they now think Part 3 was badly underrated, that it's actually a good film. So after all this time, I thought I'd give it another go. Okay, let's look at the good stuff. The score was okay, not as brilliant as the original Halloween in my view, but it builds and holds attention in the right places. I do like the lighting, which was really creative at times, and I thought the camera work was pretty good too. There aren't that many gruesome bits, but they're all done very effectively, showing just enough to give you no doubt about what's happening and shock you. The first killing in the hospital, the misfire death and the head pulling off, are especially disturbing, and I do like the downbeat ending. That and the whole killing children thing was quite a surprise. On to the negatives. Firstly, I'm not keen on the writing. It sometimes feels the dialogue is about moving the plot along at the expense of sounding natural or plausible. Secondly, I found the pacing another issue. The third act is where all the action should be. The escaping, the chase, destroying the factory, getting attacked by an android, again and again. But for me, this felt like the slowest part of the film. It's building to a climax, so it shouldn't have been the bit I found hardest to stay interested in. Thirdly, there's that London Bridges falling down jingle. Every time that came on a TV screen with that child's disembodied head wagging left and right to a completely different rhythm, I just wanted to scream. And you can't get it out of your head afterwards. It's the most annoying earworm ever. And fourthly, there are plot holes and improbabilities. Television stations cancel a paying TV commercial immediately after some raving bloke phones and tells them to. I can't prove it, you've got to believe me, he says. Dan goes out and buys a bottle of booze, even though it's after curfew and any shops would be shut. The baddies steal a massive 5-ton rock from Stonehenge without anyone noticing and somehow get it into that basement, and so on. And speaking of Stonehenge bluestone with mystical powers being used for evil, didn't they do something similar in Troll 2? Finally, the film has quite a few amusing bits too. Buddy Kupfer's wife turns up at the factory dressed head to toe in frilly Edwardian lace, hair ribbons and overdone makeup, and I thought for a moment she was David Walliams in Little Britain. There's that whole guided tour of the factory sequence, during which the son in the comedy family cries out, "I want a mask, I want that one," as if we're watching Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I was also amused by the woman in the motel, who gets into bed dressed like an end-of-the-pier fortune teller. On the other hand, having all the CCTV cameras everywhere would have seemed far-fetched at the time the film was made, but actually feels quite normal now. Looking back on Halloween 3 Season of the Witch after all these years and viewing it as a film in its own right, I have to say I don't think it's an underrated classic. It's okay, it's not terrible, but it doesn't seem all that special either. It's slow in places it shouldn't be, the plot holes are distracting, and there are other films out there that are just more memorable. People often say having the word Halloween in front of the movie's title did it an injustice, and I do take their point. Me, though, I can't help thinking that without the Halloween title making people talk about it, this film would have just been forgotten about.
Brilliant. Thanks, Gore. Thanks for that. He's not as hot on Halloween 3 as perhaps we are.
Yeah, but I don't think he necessarily dislikes it.
No.
But I will agree with him that theme song, oh my God, you can't get it out of your head after you watch the movie. It's horrible.
Yeah, but 30 years later, we're still talking about it.
Fair play.
There you go. Yeah, he backed up a point I said as well, that Halloween 3 was supposed to be like where the series branched off into different stories, but they'd already made a sequel to the first film anyway, so it felt a bit incongruous, I guess. So, have you watched Dead End Driving?
I did.
Bloody hell. Should we talk about it?
Do we have to?
Yes, we do.
Oh, God.
The good people at Arrow want us to.
You know, go ahead. You give the specifics, and all I'm going to say is, God, I love the people at Arrow. I think the time that they take with releases is incredible. The product is top-notch.
Yes.
But...
Oh, right. I think I know where you're heading with this.
Oh, God.
Right. Okay.
And it's not Arrow's fault.
No.
I mean, Arrow did absolutely, the product is top-notch.
Before you carry on, let's play a trailer and then I'll give you the specifics.
Here now the news for July 4th, 1995. In the wake of widespread economic collapse, officials are reporting massive general strikes.
In the 1970s, there was Clockwork Orange. Then in the 1980s came Mad Max and the Road Warrior. Now comes a startling new vision that takes you into the apocalypse and beyond. Back to the old drive-in you used to know and love. Only now, when the show is over, there is no way out. Dead End Drive-In.
Right now. Not getting through to you, am I, son? No cabs, no buses, no transport. So, you're here. The government decides what to do with you. Government. This is your home.
You can't tell me they don't want to get out.
Yeah, but they know they can't, son. There's no future.
Come with me.
God, Jimmy, can't you see? This is all we've got.
Get out of here. And don't you try and stop me again.
Now get out of the way! Hey! Stop
it! Welcome to your future, like it or not. Dead End Drive-In.
Dead End Drive-In.
Right then, Dead End Drive-In from 1986, directed by Brian Trenchard Smith, starring Ned Manning, Natalie McCurry, Peter Whitford, Wilbur Wilde, Dave Gibson, and Ollie Hall. Synopsis: in the near future, a teenage couple is trapped in a drive-in theatre which has become a concentration camp for social outcasts. The inmates are treated to drugs, exploitation films, junk food, and new wave music. What the fuck are they complaining about then?
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess so. Right, yeah, Dead End Drive-In. Had you not seen this before?
No.
No, I have. I reviewed the Blu-ray. I reviewed the DVD that came out from Arrow a couple of years ago.
Okay.
My full written review is on ancientslumber.wordpress.com. So, yeah, but this occasion I'm talking about the Blu-ray that is coming out very shortly.
How does the picture compare?
Much better. The picture quality
Is
on
it?
this
Okay.
Blu-ray. Yeah, the big noticeable difference. The clarity, it's still a little grainy, which is good, I think. But the colours really stand out, especially that opening scene where he's jogging and you've got the orange sky in the background and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it really does.
Arrow really does a nice job with the pictures.
Yeah,
They
even
take their time.
if the film's shit, they always do a good product.
Yep.
So I'm guessing from your comments that you didn't like this.
No.
No?
Not one bit.
Bloody hell.
God, I'm like, my first thought when I started watching this is, Jesus Christ, Chris.
Me? I didn't make it.
Yes. It was horrible. Oh my God. It was just, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to disagree with you.
Tell me one good thing about this movie.
One good thing, Natalie McCurry's tits.
Okay. You know what? When that came out of my mouth, I realized it. Give me another good thing about this movie.
The car stunts.
The one at the end where he jumps over through the sign, that was pretty good.
I love this film.
That was pretty good.
Are you particularly well versed in Ozploitation films?
Not at all.
No, right. I can probably see where.
This may be the first Ozploitation film I've ever seen.
Right, I can see why you might think that then. Okay.
Do we consider Mad Max Ozploitation?
Yes.
I've seen Mad Max.
Well, Mad Max that's the transgressive one. That's the king of Ozploitation, if you like.
Which one? The first one or the second one?
Both of them, really.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the ones that went mainstream and sort of brought Australia to the rest of the world, if you like.
Okay.
Dead End Drive-In sort of came at the end of the Ozploitation period.
So what's the draw of the Ozploitation?
It's weird. It's one of those things where when you tell people about it, you can't get across how much fun it is.
Okay.
I would recommend you watch a documentary called Not Quite Hollywood.
Okay.
It's from 2008, and it details Ozploitation from the 60s up to present day. There's a lot of Quentin Tarantino in it. You'll hear him talking about stuff. See, I love Ozploitation films. I've seen loads of them, and I get it. And I think it's one of those things. Some people get it, some people don't. You can't explain it. It's one that you watch it, you either say, it's like you and your found footage, because I just don't get that at all.
Right.
Yeah, Dead End Drive-In, it looks fantastic, especially the Blu-ray. It is one of the better produced Ozploitation films I've seen. I agree that the acting isn't brilliant. There's probably not.
But you know what? It's not horrible for the context of the movie either.
No, that's it. And I think that's part of the charm of Ozploitation is that a lot of the films were cheap and like we look at Grindhouse films from the 70s. You know, we look at them and think, well, the acting's terrible, that shot's terrible. We still enjoy it. And Ozploitation is exactly that.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think if you went back and watched some of the films like Turkey Shoot, which is the film that they're watching on the big screen when they first go into the drive-in.
Okay.
That was directed by Brian Trenchard Smith, who also directed a couple of the Leprechaun films, if you remember.
I do.
Start with that. There's other films like Man from Hong Kong, which has got George Lazenby in it.
Okay.
There is a rich history of Ozploitation films that once you're invested in it, they're just so much fun. But yeah, Not Quite Hollywood, the documentary, that is what you need to see. That will clue you in. And then if you watch that and you think, oh, I want to see more, then there you go. It gives you a list of films you can follow up on.
Right. Cool. I'll look for that one.
Yeah, it's fair. I mean, it's fairly cheap over here. You can get it for less than $5 off Amazon.
Okay.
So It might even be on one of the streaming services. I'm sure it might be somewhere.
I'll see if I can find it. And I think that was it for me. So maybe I just didn't get it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I guess it's a lot of ways. It's like, blaxploitation here.
Yeah.
You get it or you don't. And if you don't get it, you're not going to like the movies, and that's okay.
If you imagine somebody saying, if you imagine sitting someone down and putting on a horror film like, say, Martyrs, the original Martyrs, and then going, right. Oh, I didn't like that, you can completely understand why.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think this is a lot of what exploitation is that. It doesn't resonate unless you're of that mindset.
Right.
But once you're you're in. I love this film because I think it's one of those where you think, well, what would happen if I did go to the drive-in and they locked us in and we couldn't get out?
Oh.
He does try desperately to get out, and I think there's a lot of subtext in this film, because obviously by the time he gets to the end of the film, he sees a chance to escape, and he does, but his girlfriend, Carmen, she wants to stay. She's been institutionalized, if you like.
Yes, she does want to stay.
And she's like, no, I don't want to go back out to that world out there, I want to stay in here. So there's obviously a commentary there on sort of institutionalizing prisoners and things like that. The only thing I would say, watching it now, I think could be taken out or could be done better, rewritten, is the scene when the bus full of Asian prisoners turns up and the film suddenly turns a little bit uncomfortable.
Yes.
A lot of this Asians out, and there's a lot of there's like a racist undertone that comes in. I don't think it's deliberately racist on the part of the director or anything like that. I think he is trying to make a comment on, institutional racism, I suppose. But I think it's a little bit ham-fisted.
Yes.
It does. It changes the tone of the film.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and it just feels a little bit.
It's very. I would say it's very 80s to do something like that.
If it was written nowadays, that scene would be a lot more cleverly written, rather than sounding like someone down the pub who's got an opinion on foreigners, which is what it comes across as.
Yes,
Nigel Farage. That's what it comes across as.
Oh,
yeah, it just feels very ham-fisted and not very well thought out. It brings the film to a sort of a standstill before the final escape. And I think you could do away with a lot of that stuff and it wouldn't make that much difference to the overall film.
No, not at all. Mr. Chris, how about those special features?
Those special features, do you have a proper look at them?
No,
I
didn't. Okay, let me backtrack. I watched the public service announcement he did for, I don't know, some hospital or something.
It's called Hospitals Don't Burn Down. Yeah, that was Brian Trenchard
Smith.
That's right. Public information film.
With the bloke smoking.
Yeah, the guy smoking in the hospital. Yeah. Yeah, that's a bit of a bizarre oddity to put on the disc, but, it's there. Why not? Bit of fun. There's also a 48-minute documentary called The Stuntmen, which is a television documentary that Trenchard Smith made to do with the Australian sort of stunt performers, the guys who did Mad Max and Dead End Driving and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, right, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's pretty good. There's also an audio commentary by Brian Trenchard Smith, which I haven't listened to because I wanted to get the proper film done this time. So next time I watch it, I will give that a listen with the commentary. And there's also the usual reversible sleeve and some new artwork on the package as well.
Excellent.
So it's a lovely package of a film that I like and you don't.
Arrow always does the great packaging.
They do. It is a good package. I think it's a great looking film. So the colours do come out a lot more. I think it's entertaining. It's funny in places. There's tits. There's a bit of blood. There's car stunts. I like it. You don't.
There you go.
Can't say more than that, really.
That's right.
So scoring it, I'm giving it 4 removed 57 Chevy tyres out of 5.
I'm giving it 1 white wall removed out of 5.
Okay. It's not a 57 Chevy, sorry, it's a 56 Chevy. Sorry.
How the hell would I know?
He says in the film.
Oh, well.
Because I was thinking, I said it looks a bit like a Plymouth Fury, and it's red. And is that a bit of a nod there?
Okay.
But then he goes into the see the kiosk guy and he says, what car is it? He says, it's a 56 Chevy. So there you go.
Is that before or after he tells him his name is Krabs?
Might even be the same scene, actually.
All right.
There you go. That's Dead End Driving. Done and dusted.
That's right. Although I was thinking about this.
Don't think too hard.
I don't know. I do have to go back and give the Baz from Podcast Under the Stairs credit,
Mm-hmm.
I referred to Donald Pleasance as Big Donnie P.
You did. That's
I did.
That's Baz's name.
And that's what Baz gave him. So Baz gets credit for that, but
we'll call him Little Donnie P.
every time, it's embarrassing now because every time I see these movies, I've got Baz's little nuances, running through my brain. It's just horrible.
You're becoming a little bit of a mini-me of Baz, aren't you?
I am. So, sadly.
Am I going to have to keep you in check like Duncan does with Baz?
Only if I could find Krabby's green ginger wine.
Oh, yeah, I've had my fair share of that in my time, yeah. My nan used to drink that.
Apparently you need it to make a genuine whiskey mac.
Yes, you do, yes.
So I need Krabby's green ginger wine.
Yeah, if you want to do it properly, yeah. Other ginger wines are available. There's one, Stone's ginger wine is another one. But yeah, you need Krabby's. Oh. You need Krabby's to do it properly.
Don't ask Baz about Stone's. He launches into it can only be described as a brain aneurysm inducing tirade.
I was too pissed when I used to drink ginger wine, so it's one of those drinks you have to drink when you're pissed already. Old ladies drink it. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Baz. I'm sorry. I don't drink anymore, so I can't comment.
Well, these comments about the Baz are brought to you by a potato vodka whose name I can't pronounce. So,
is it Russian?
No, I think it's American, given a American distillery with a Russian name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's some highbrow stuff.
Yeah, you're known for your highbrow intoxication, aren't you?
Well, but, I'm mixing it with tonic.
Vodka and
so
tonic?
why would I want to waste like a Belvedere or a Chopin or another higher end vodka in a tonic?
True. I'm drinking orange squash out of a plastic Batman cup I got from McDonald's.
What is orange squash?
Oh, what would you call it? You must have it over there. It's like if you imagine orange juice and then put a big bag of sugar in it and then put water in it and lots of E numbers and chemicals and colours and things.
Oh, well.
Yeah. I'm having a vision of me circa 1993 visiting my current self and just giving myself a slap round the fucking face. Yeah. Saying, what the fuck are you doing, man? Yeah, orange squash.
Oh.
They drink it at Wimbledon, apparently. Actually, it's orange barley water I've got. Even more disappointing. Fucking hell. What is my life? What's my life become?
What are you drinking?
It's orange barley water.
Oh, God. Well, you stay away from the alcohol these days, don't you?
I do, yes.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be good if I got near it.
Yeah.
It'd be fucking funny, but it wouldn't be very good. Right then, let's wrap this baby up then, shall we?
Let's do.
So, if you want to get in touch with us, you can do so via email at ancientslumberpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at ancient_slumber, and you can follow both Myron and myself individually on Twitter and Letterboxd as well. So do get involved and chuck some abuse our way, because we love it.
Absolutely, we can't get enough of it.
Exactly, and don't forget to leave us a review on iTunes, because we want to know that somebody's listening.
Please leave us a review on iTunes.
We've got two reviews.
Sweet!
Yes! We'd like a few more.
Are they from people other than us?
One is from Mr. Clayton.
Oh, Chris. Yeah. Chris is guy. I love Chris. Good guy.
He is. And I left one for him, so he left one for me. So fair dues.
Excellent.
Excellent. Right then. Yes, we shall return next show number 18, with Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, and Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. And probably another Arrow review that is nothing to do with Michael Myers.
Oh, we got to do it later than Sunday morning because,
Well, it's not Sunday morning for me.
Well, it's Sunday afternoon for you. It's Sunday morning for me, but, let's be honest. I may need something to lubricate the old brain box on these next three.
Well, there's no law that says you can't start on the vodka at that time in the morning.
10 o'clock on a Sunday?
Oh, the 90s. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God help me.
Oh, well, right. We'll bring it to a close on that alcoholic note. So thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Happy Halloween, Halloween.
It's almost time, kids. The clock is ticking. Be in front of your TV sets for the Horathon. And remember the big giveaway at 9. Don't miss it. And don't forget to wear your masks. The clock is ticking. It's almost time.
Happy, happy Halloween, 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 happy, happy Halloween, silver shamrock.
Stop it, please, for God's sake, please stop it. There's no more time. You've got to, please, stop it now. Turn it off, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it.